The story of Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago begins long before the bright costumes and energetic parades that fill the streets today, starting in the 18th century when French settlers brought their masquerade balls and pre-Lenten celebrations to the islands, introducing a tradition that the enslaved population observed from a distance while forming their own interpretations of freedom and festivity. When slavery was abolished, the formerly enslaved people took to the streets to celebrate in their own way, using drumming, dancing, and costumes made from simple materials, expressing joy and release after generations of hardship. Over time, this celebration evolved into something that combined European pageantry with African rhythm and symbolism, producing a new identity entirely unique to Trinidad and Tobago. Every decade that passed added layers of meaning, music, and artistry to Carnival, transforming it from a colonial festivity into a national movement that speaks to independence, creativity, and belonging. It became a stage on which the country's history and character could be seen and felt, a living reflection of how people turned struggle into expression. Even before the government recognized its potential, the people had already made it their own, shaping it into the greatest street festival in the Caribbean. Each year, as February or March approaches, communities across the islands begin preparing for months in advance, knowing that Carnival is not just an event, but part of the cultural DNA of Trinidad and Tobago. Preparation for Carnival begins quietly in small workshops known as Mars camps, where designers, welders, and seamstresses dedicate long hours to building costumes that range from traditional designs to futuristic interpretations of color and movement, showing how the art form keeps evolving. The level of craftsmanship found here rivals any major production studio, yet most of the people working in these spaces are locals who learned their skills through practice and mentorship rather than formal schooling. They cut, shape, glue, and paint with precision, creating pieces that will only be worn for 2 days but will live forever in the memories and photographs of those who witnessed them. Across Port of Spain and other towns, the sound of Steelpan rehearsals becomes a constant reminder that Carnival is coming, as bands practice late into the night for Panorama, the famous national steel band competition. The preparation period also includes countless fetes, costume fittings, and calypso tents where artists perform songs that comment on society, humor, and daily life. It's during this time that visitors arriving in Trinidad start to sense that the country is building up to something massive and collective, something that involves every generation. In Tobago, the atmosphere is smaller in scale but deeply connected to the roots of the festival, where community groups still perform traditional dances and masquerades that keep older forms of Carnival alive. Every costume seen on the streets during Carnival has a story, and these stories are built months before anyone steps out to play Mars. Designers often start with sketches inspired by themes ranging from mythology to environmental awareness, translating ideas into fabric, wire, and feathers. The process requires coordination between tailors, engineers, and painters, all of whom know that timing is crucial since deadlines cannot shift once the festival dates are set. The most talented Mars makers have their own followings, with entire groups of people signing up months ahead to play in their bands, paying for a chance to wear something handmade that represents art in motion. What makes Trinidad and Tobago's Carnival unique is how it balances creative freedom with structure, allowing every participant to contribute while keeping the overall experience organized and safe. Behind the colorful parades lies an entire economy, from food vendors to security providers, showing that Carnival is not only cultural but also practical, supporting thousands of livelihoods each year. When people say the event brings the country to life, they mean it literally, as nearly every industry feels its effect. Flights fill up, hotels book out, and even small towns feel the ripple as visitors travel between islands to experience both versions of the celebration. In Tobago, smaller Mars bands focus on preserving older characters such as the Smoko Jumbi and Pero Grenade, connecting modern festivities to ancestral heritage. The roots of the music that defines Carnival are as important as the costumes themselves, with calypso emerging as a storytelling genre that once served as both entertainment and social commentary. In the early days, calypsonians used clever lyrics to challenge authority or highlight community issues, earning respect for their wit and bravery. Over time, soca music developed from calypso, adding faster rhythms and deeper bass lines suited for dancing, reflecting the evolution of the modern festival. Today, songs are released each Carnival season that instantly become anthems, uniting locals and foreigners in shared excitement. The energy of these songs is not accidental. Producers and performers spend months refining their beats and lyrics to capture the feeling of movement, freedom, and togetherness that Carnival stands for. Steelpan, invented in Trinidad, remains the heartbeat of the festival, a musical innovation born from necessity when traditional drums were banned in the colonial period. From oil drums came melodies that now define a nation's sound, an achievement recognized around the world. The Steelpan's tone, when performed by a full band, feels powerful and precise, the result of decades of refinement and discipline. Visitors often find themselves amazed not only by the sound but by the sheer skill of the players, many of whom started learning as children through community music programs that keep the art form alive. The build-up to Carnival season is a journey of excitement that takes place across several weeks, marked by competitions, fetes, and cultural showcases that make it clear this is not a single event but an entire season of national involvement. Soca monarch competitions, calypso contests, and band launches fill the calendar, keeping the population engaged. Local radio stations dedicate their programming almost entirely to new releases, and conversations revolve around which songs will dominate the road on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. In schools and workplaces, people discuss their chosen bands, costume sections, and weekend plans, showing how deeply the event integrates into everyday life. The country's rhythm changes, traffic patterns shift, and even business hours adjust as the excitement grows. While many cities host parades and festivals, few can match the collective anticipation that builds across Trinidad and Tobago in the weeks leading up to Carnival. The level of organization required is enormous, involving government coordination, police presence, clean-up crews, and emergency services that prepare months in advance. It's not simply chaos, it's a well-planned cultural operation that relies on discipline and teamwork from thousands of people who understand that safety and celebration must go hand in hand. Tobago, while less crowded, follows a similar rhythm, though its approach remains more community-based and rooted in preserving the slow charm of its traditional celebrations. Carnival Monday and Tuesday stand as the climax of all this preparation, but before the sun rises on the official parade days, the islands experience Jouvert, the raw and unfiltered beginning of the celebration. Jouvert, derived from the French jour ouvert meaning daybreak, is a street party that starts in the dark hours before dawn, where people cover themselves in paint, mud, and oil, symbolizing freedom from social barriers and embracing equality for everyone. The event is messy, noisy, and liberating, offering an experience that feels authentic and spontaneous while remaining deeply rooted in cultural expression. Locals and visitors alike gather in large groups, dancing behind music trucks, shouting lyrics, and moving together in a way that erases divisions of class or origin. The atmosphere is one of joy and inclusion rather than spectacle, an expression of community rather than competition. As the sun rises, the streets slowly transition from the wild spirit of Jouvert to the organized beauty of the parade of the bands, marking the shift from chaos to artistry. The contrast between the two moments is what gives Trinidad and Tobago Carnival its emotional depth, reminding everyone that freedom and creativity can coexist within structure. Police and emergency services maintain a visible presence, ensuring that people enjoy themselves safely. Jouvert may seem unstructured, but it has its own order and rhythm, one that experienced locals understand instinctively. The Parade of the Bands is the visual centerpiece of the carnival, with thousands of participants moving through the streets of Port of Spain in groups led by massive music trucks blasting the season's biggest soca hits. The sight is overwhelming yet organized, each band flowing with a coordinated theme, color palette, and costume design. The level of detail in each outfit is astonishing, reflecting months of effort and the pride of local craftsmanship. Spectators gather along the routes, some joining the revelers for brief moments while others simply watch and take in the atmosphere. The experience is not only about dancing but about witnessing art in motion, where costume, music, and movement merge into one seamless expression. Security is well managed, water stations are available, and first aid services remain on standby, allowing the event to proceed safely despite the massive crowds. Tourists often find that being part of a band, rather than just observing, offers the best understanding of what Carnival really means to the people. In Tobago, the parade takes on a more intimate feel, with traditional characters like the Blue Devil, Fancy Sailor, and Dame Lorraine adding a touch of history to the streets. The The sense of community there is strong, with locals greeting each other by name and encouraging visitors to join in freely. The artistry displayed in the King and Queen of Carnival competitions provides another layer of depth to the celebration, emphasizing not only entertainment but also design excellence and engineering skill. The costumes for these contests are massive constructions of wire, cloth, and decorative materials, requiring both physical strength and technical precision to maneuver. Each represents a theme that tells a story, from cultural myths to environmental messages, showcasing how creativity in Trinidad and Tobago extends beyond beauty into thought and commentary. The craftsmanship and dedication involved often rival that of theatrical productions, with teams working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure smooth presentations. For spectators, it's a breathtaking display of imagination turned into physical form, but for the creators, it's months of work, late nights, and continuous problem-solving. Judges evaluate based on design, balance, color, and storytelling, making it one of the most respected competitions within the carnival season. Tobago also holds smaller versions of similar events, though with a stronger focus on tradition rather than scale. These performances keep alive the folk characters and masquerade styles that connect the present celebration to its historical foundation, ensuring that modernization never erases heritage. The ability of the carnival to mix innovation with preservation is one of the main reasons it continues to evolve while maintaining authenticity. When the second day of Carnival begins, the sense of organization becomes even clearer as the larger bands take to the main streets, displaying the most elaborate costumes of the festival under bright daylight that allows every color, feather, and fabric to show its full texture. This is when photographers, filmmakers, and broadcasters capture the best visuals, showcasing how art, design, and movement blend into one living exhibition. Participants move through the judging points where officials evaluate the bands based on creativity, coordination, and adherence to their chosen themes. Behind every smiling face are hours of endurance, as the day involves walking or dancing for miles in hot weather, yet people continue with visible pride and commitment. The crowd control is handled professionally, with barriers and clear routes that keep both spectators and performers safe. Food stalls line the street selling everything from doubles and roti to grilled meats and fresh drinks, reminding everyone that local cuisine is as much a part of Carnival as the music and costumes. Vendors work non-stop, understanding that these 2 days bring them income that can sustain families for months. For visitors, it's often their first real taste of how Trinidad's culinary culture merges with celebration, turning the streets into a moving festival of color and flavor. As the parade continues through the day, the rhythm of the music takes control, and the blend of steelpan, soca, and live vocals forms the constant backdrop of energy. Truck-mounted speakers blast the most popular songs of the season, and every few minutes, the crowd erupts as a new favorite tune begins. The coordination between DJs, artists, and band leaders ensures that the music never stops, maintaining the flow that gives Carnival its unmatched momentum. The sound is powerful but not chaotic, managed through professional sound systems and regulated routes. Locals know where the main bands will pass, and many follow them from point to point, creating an atmosphere that feels both planned and spontaneous. Tourists who join in quickly realize that this is not just about dancing but about participation in a cultural experience that erases barriers between locals and foreigners. Security officers stationed along the parade maintain order without dampening the freedom of expression that defines the event. The government and private sponsors provide funding to ensure logistics such as hydration, waste management, and traffic control run efficiently. By evening, when the sun starts to set, the golden light creates a striking view over Port of Spain, but the celebrations show no sign of slowing down, continuing deep into the night. In Tobago, the experience feels more grounded and rooted in community, offering a version of Carnival that prioritizes tradition over size. The streets of Scarborough and smaller towns fill with people wearing handmade costumes that often carry historical references rather than the glamorous designs of larger Trinidad bands. Folk characters such as the Bats, Devils, and Jab Molasses appear, reviving symbolic portrayals that go back generations. The emphasis is on participation rather than display, allowing everyone from children to elders to play a part. Music in Tobago's Carnival includes steel bands and live drummers rather than large speaker systems, creating a more organic sound that fits the island's relaxed pace. Tourists visiting both islands often find Tobago's celebration more personal, with locals eager to explain the meaning of each character or dance. The organization is handled by local committees rather than large corporations, showing how community leadership sustains cultural heritage without heavy commercialization. The smaller crowds also make it easier for visitors to observe details and take part without feeling overwhelmed. Although less publicized internationally, Tobago's carnival holds strong emotional value for those who see it as the heart of authenticity within the wider national celebration. As carnival season concludes, the emotional transition from intense celebration to calm reflection begins, marking the end of weeks of preparation and the start of recovery for the thousands who participated.